Hi, it is Cami from the blog Tidbits, here to cover in detail one of the frequently asked questions I've been getting as of late, as I've been sharing our kitchen in our new pole barn home that we just built. And that question is, do you like your Verona Italian made range? So let's talk about that. I'll cover some of the features it has, my general opinions on the range, and hopefully this will help you in your own personal research should the time ever come that you are in the market for a new range. First, a friendly disclaimer or two. Now, I am not a professional chef by any stretch of the imagination, but I do prepare 3 meals a day for a hungry crew of growing children and a hardworking man. I definitely wanted a range that was up to those tasks, but one that was not too much for me either. Now, my whole married life, we've had the standard run-of-the-mill glass top ranges, which I never really loved, but they did the job. We found them most challenging to work with during canning and food preservation seasons. Another very important disclaimer, this range was a sponsored gift from Verona and Eurochef, who is the American supplier for these lovely Italian imported ranges. And this is a nice perk of working 40+ hours a week to bring you free content. But I did take weeks before I accepted this product in exchange for promotion to do my research so that I could feel confident that I would be sharing a product that I would love in my home and had a price point and features that I felt like you, my audience, would appreciate. Now, Verona still isn't widely known in the States, but after using this beauty for 5 months, I feel like it really should be. I'm going to cover my honest thoughts and current knowledge on these details. We'll go through price and availability, the design, features of the true convection oven and gas cooktop. I'll talk about the attachments and accessories that go with this range, as well as cleaning and care. Finally, I'll just leave you with a summary of what I think of the Verona range in general. The stove is such an important part of the home, and I really hope that this detailed review will help guide you to a product that will meet your needs if ever you should be shopping for a new range. Now, keep in mind, Verona has many styles and colors of ranges, so if you think that there's something that you would like differently than the one I'm going to talk about, check out what they have to offer. Our particular range is the Prestige series. It's the 36-inch wide dual fuel double oven in white. The dual fuel means that we run the cooktop with gas and the oven with electricity. It's really the best of both worlds. Okay, I'm going to begin by touching on probably the factor that you're concerned about first and foremost, and that is price and availability. If you are looking for a more professional style range, the prices are going to vary significantly, especially if you want the prestige and European chef experience of a range made with Italian craftsmanship in performance and design. Now, from my understanding, the term Italian range means that this product is held up to pretty high standards. I know you've all seen those jaw-dropping Italian and French ranges on Instagram and probably have wondered on the cost and where to get them. Now, when I began looking into all my options for that show-stopping true convection piece, I discovered ranges that were 2 or 3 times more expensive than the Verona range. But price is not the only factor to consider when getting a range. You need to know your availability for the product and for parts and services. Now, I'm going to leave a link below for you to check out where a Verona service network is in your area, but I was pleased to ensure that I had one just about 30 minutes away from our country home in our not very big main city. Now, you might need help with installation, upkeep, or to fix something, and if you have this elite and obscure range, this could be very costly if these things are not readily available. I'll leave another link to my friend Julie Blanner, where she posted the challenges that she faced when she got her French LeConche range sorted out. They ended up having to fly an expert from Florida to work on it. Now, hers is lovely, no doubt, but you have to consider that these possible expenses and challenges that might come up. Now the good news is the Verona range is readily available on sites like Amazon, Wayfair, and more. Plus you can look up for the local supplier in your area, like I mentioned before. It might even be worth a phone call to double check as well. You can also purchase from Eurochef, who has a 2-year warranty and a warehouse full of service and parts in New York, which can elevate lead time for services. Now, I won't give exact prices, but to give you a general idea for many imported professional European ranges, you might be looking at a price tag of $8,000 to $12,000 plus your freight and services. Whereas the Verona range is readily available at $2,599. Now that is quite the difference for a luxury range. Okay, let's talk about the next most important detail, design. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't love the unique look of some of those high-end European ranges, and I find many that are unique and beautiful. But what I love about the design of the Verona range is how sleek and minimalistic it looks. I feel like it'll be a timeless piece, and it goes really well with the European organic look that I am after for this home. We made it a focal point of our kitchen by surrounding it by these built-out walls, flat panel cabinet fronts, and marble surrounds. We painted our walls with lime mineral paints to add a nice texture and depth to the matte white paint, and it coordinates wonderfully with the semi-gloss white finish on the range. In our planning stage, we knew it would come out best if we could find a 36-inch wide range. Any bigger, and we wouldn't have been able to fit in the cabinets on the side and the wall. Any smaller, and I'd probably forever be sad that I didn't have more burners. Now the proportions worked really well for this spot. I opted for the double oven, which gives me this smaller oven and the larger one. I love the look of the double door, and it's a feature we have always wanted based on how we tend to cook. Now please note, this bigger oven is not big enough for a large standard size cookie sheet. I knew this going in and found these slightly smaller 10 by 15 cookie sheets and many options that work great for both sides. I'll leave a link to my favorites below. I do love how deep the inside oven is as well. Now, fitting in large cookie sheets and roasting pans may be a high priority for you, and rest assured they do have single ovens that would work great for you. But we find that we use this smaller oven about 90% more frequently than the larger. It heats up fast, it cooks fast, and it's very handy. Our cast iron muffin tins layer in there perfectly. I can do several loaves of bread at the same time, and we can cook dishes that need different temperatures all at the same time. There is an oven for dinner and one for dessert, and I can warm up leftovers really quick and easy. And the bigger side is more than enough room for our needs. The only thing that I decided we couldn't adapt was those really big take and bake pizzas, which we eat about once a year. So forfeiting that for all the other benefits was kind of a no-brainer for us. Let's dive into the mini cook features of the Verona range. Now, I'll admit, I have hardly had the time to fully experience the variety of options. It is honestly the fanciest oven we've had, but I'm having a lot of fun learning all about it. Please take a look at the website and their user manual to get an idea for how fancy Italian chefs may use the many different cook options. But here's what I've discovered that I love. First, the gas cooktop. Features include the burner heads that are closer to the flames. That results in more efficient and quicker cooking. There are flame failure safety features that cut off the gas flow every time a flame is extinguished. There are 5 burners on this model. The 2 smaller semi-rapid burners in the back are great for your smaller pans or simmering on larger pans. The 2 triple ring burners at the front are great for more heat and bigger pot accommodations. The central dual burner works with big pans also, as well as with skillets, wok pans, and a steam basket. After using this cooktop, I completely understand why all my friends and family have been recommending a gas cooktop to us. It's pretty life-changing. Okay, oven features. Now this oven is considered a true European convection, which basically means that your food will cook faster, more evenly, and you can make cinnamon rolls and roast at the same time, and your flavors won't blend together. It's pretty amazing. Something we noticed right off the bat, which we weren't used to, was the fan. It will quietly run while it's cooking in about 10 minutes after you turn off the oven. Apparently this is a cooling feature popular with professional ranges, just something to point out. Now, when you look at the knobs, there is one for the temperature setting and another for the mode of cooking. Now, this is where it gets fun to play with. Just for broiling, which we do a lot of, you have options for the basic infrared broiling, double broiling, which is the infrared and the top heating element, and ventilated broiling, which turns on the circulating fan with the broiling element. Now, it's been my experience that the broiling is more controlled in this unit and doesn't leave your food charcoal before you even think to check it. And again, you can do that on both the bigger oven and the smaller one if you need to, which is pretty great. There is a defrost mode that just turns on the fan and can apparently defrost meats from frozen in about an hour. I haven't used that yet, but I'm pretty sure it will come in handy. For convection, you have the options for traditional convection, which is the top and the bottom elements. Convection with ventilation, which turns on the fan to even out the heat distribution, as well as ventilated cooking, which is the circular heating element in the back with the fan. As you can see, a chef could find many ways to cook and tailor heat to the needs of the dish that they're making. I still have a lot to play around with before I feel like I'm making the most out of this range. So far, I use the traditional convection the most. Other features are the oven light, which is always on by default when the oven is on. Our model, there's also a built-in timer, digital clock, and programmer to start and stop when needed. Now, if you think like me, these are all pretty amazing features. Now let's cover the attachments. Verona has manufactured some handy attachments to increase the capabilities even more. There is a wok ring, which comes with the range. This is great for any concave pans, like a wok. It will hold it sturdy in place on the bigger elements. Now, Verona sent me the simmer plate, which is this cast iron plate which stands as a buffer to the heat. Now, I found without it, it can be hard to keep a low simmer because the heat is so close to the pans. Now, this is great for fast boiling point, but sometimes even the low heat will keep it boiling. So I can just place this simmer plate in between and ensure a nice gentle simmer. Now, if you have a smaller pot, you can place the small pot reducer on the burner so that it doesn't rock or move when you stir. There is also the option to purchase a cast iron griddle that sits on top of the burners. Now, Verona was kind enough to also send me the chef's pack, which you could really use with any range you might have. It came with this hefty stainless steel griddle, which is great for pancakes, quesadillas, grilling meat, and more. This is a steam basket that sits on top of the steel griddle and works great to warm foods and steam veggies. You can also use it inside of the oven cavity, which makes me feel super pro. Then I got this beautiful cutting board that can fit right inside the steel griddle when it's not being used, or on top of the burners that are off for some fast food prep by the heat. Also included are an oven mitt and a nice meat thermometer. This was all pretty much better than Christmas for this mama. Okay, lastly, a bit on cleaning the range. They make it super easy to clean with elements that easily remove to be scrubbed. It was a recommendation on the site that if you have some burnt on food, just put water on it when it's warm, then it should scrub off easily once it is cooled down. The oven door can actually come off completely for cleaning or repair, and you can move the inside glass on the door to scrub any moisture, grease, or buildup. The inside of the oven is made with what they call easy clean. It's just porcelain, which wipes down really wonderfully. I will leave a link to direct you to a video detailing more cleaning tips for the Verona range. Now, even with all the construction dust going on in our house, I've been able to get it looking brand new again in no time. Verona recommends just a soft, gentle soap and a rag, and that's great for cleaning your range. Now, that was a lot of information, and in summary, from my experience, the Verona range is an amazing professional Italian range, perfect for the everyday home. It's very versatile. It has a great price point for what you get, and it looks stunning. That just about checked off all of my boxes. I truly hope this has been helpful for you as you shop and compare. If there are any questions or comments, please leave them below. I've also included links to many sources where you can learn more about Verona and all they have to offer. Please subscribe and stick around. I'm excited to take you through every step along the way as we make this new house our home. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video, and thank you so much for watching. Come back for more inspiration for do-it-yourself living.